Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Simple Gardening. This is my first official tour of my entire Zen garden. You can see we finally have grass. Super excited that there's not dirt, muddy clay everywhere. Those are our two dogs. They get to roam around. So if you're looking from right to left, first garden over there, second, third, fourth garden. That's Pixie. Hi, Pixie. Can you say hi? Good girl. So I'm just going to go around starting. Actually, I'll go this way first. So over here, we had to leave a path opening because the RV is going to need to be pulled out. We didn't want to pull it out all the way in the grass area straight forward. So when we pull it out of the camper, it needs to come this way. This is why we left this area kind of blank. We didn't see this area at all. This is where my tropical trees are at the moment, until we get the greenhouse built. I've got Myers lemon over here that is very prolific. Japanese beetle is all over it, loving it. Look down here. Japanese beetle. They are so crazy. They're everywhere. Here's my first actual lemon that actually got large and is turning yellow. I had to repot this Myers lemon in the middle of its full spring on garden season growing season, because the pot I had it in, it kept tipping over with the Alabama monsoon rain that we get. The wind comes so heavy, it just topples the tree over. So finally, after 3 or 4 times, I'm like, okay, that's the tree telling me to transplant it. So we put it in these big pots, and it's been holding steady very well. This is navel orange. I haven't seen anything come of it other than growth. I had to cut it back very hard, and it looks like a branch broke. So I have to come back and take care of that. These are my jackfruit trees. This one's doing really well, and so is this one. Got them at separate places. This one I think I got on Etsy for about $70. And this one I got at fastgrowingtree.com. A lot bigger, but I paid almost more than double the price in it. So depending on your price mark, they're both healthy. They're both doing well. Very happy with it. Don't have any fruit yet, of course. I don't expect any, but hopefully by next year, as long as I can keep it from stressing through the winter time. The highlight of all the tropical tree, my Ruby Supreme guava, still giving me flowers, you can see here, as well as a whole bunch of fruit that I am super excited. Hopefully they will mature. This one also toppled over quite a bit because the pots that I get them in, and just an FYI, if you're planning putting them in pots, make sure you get big, huge, round pots like this. I made the mistake of getting pots that tapers, so they're skinny at the bottom, and with the high winds, they topple over very easily. I had the Myers lemon in that one over there, and it toppled, and the guava in one of those pots, and it toppled very easily. Actually, it was in this pot over here. See how it's large at the top, which is great for growing room, but then it tapers at the bottom, so it made it super top heavy, and with the wind blow, it just literally comes apart. It doesn't come apart, it falls over. It tips over very easily. I also have my edible bamboo over here. It's going like crazy. You're supposed to be able to eat the shoots that come off of it when they're young, so you can't eat the ones like this, but new shoots that come out more like this, you can cut it back and you can eat it. Haven't tried it yet because it seems really small, and there's really not enough to harvest to put in my some of my dishes. Sauteing bamboo shoots would be amazing. Another one, this one I got on Etsy, as opposed to this one being on fastgrowingtree.com. So you can see for the price you get the quality, but they're both the same, so it depends on your price mark. I planted my dragon fruit. I got 2 dragon fruit from a gentleman who was growing them close by locally. So we purchased them and I put them in here. I actually need to train them against this post so that they will grow more into the post. And then maybe do some trimming, because this one I don't think I want them. So I might take these off and grow more cutting from them, and then just let them keep on climbing up the trellis, the stalk that we got for them. These are the pink color one. So the outside will be pink and the inside will be pink with the black seeds that you would see. This is a coconut palm. You guys, if I can grow an actual coconut from this palm tree in Alabama, that would be the most amazing thing I would have ever experienced growing plant-wise. I mean, that would be amazing. But it did survive, and it's still doing good, so I'm going to just let it be. These are June plum. This one gave me flower earlier in the season, and for some reason it did not get pollinated, so they all dropped off. But you can see now it's starting to flower again. So I'm excited to see what the June plum will produce, and I'll show you guys when I get to try it. This one was a lot later to grow. You can see the difference in their sizes. That one was just more bulky in its size. This one took a while to come out, but now you can see they have flowers over here. And I have yet to see fruit on them, but it definitely has a lot more flower. Along with this big, massive flowering branch right here. So these are June plums. Got them both at fastgrowingtree.com. Oh, sorry, I didn't finish showing you the Ruby Supreme Guava. So yes, look at all the fruits on it. It is a happy little tree. And I am super excited with all of them. So every flower will turn into a fruit as long as it doesn't drop. Now I did have a couple that drop. Let's see if I can even find it. We had a couple drop right here and then a couple over there. But overall, it's doing really good. So I'm gonna let it be. It was staked on its own, but because it had so many leaves, it started to bend over, so I had to restake it back. Just basically restaking the edge and then keeping it upright a little. If I keep giving you in depth, I'm not sure if I'm going to finish this video today. So these are just stuff I have in little pots. This is my lychee. It has finally producing new growth. I thought for sure I had lost it, but it looks like it's doing good. So I'm grateful, praying that it will actually produce some lychee. Probably not this year, since lychee was in season right now. If you had any, I actually tried to order some on larasfarm.com, but they ran out. So I guess I might have to wait till next season. These are little dragon fruit seedlings that I propagated. I bought the seed, put it down, planted. I actually planted 25 seeds and only 3 took. So look at them. They look. This one looks like a little sword. But it's been like, what, 3 months. So that's how fast it grows. But once it takes off, it grows really fast. Some more Myers lemon I propagated. This, of course, is the raised bed. It has all my vegetables in it. It's growing great, wild and crazy. I actually had to cut back the dill. Look at this dill. It just like took off. And in here I just have thyme, rosemary. I've got a Myers lemon over there. Strawberries. I've got all the vegetables on this side. I think I'll just tell you guys that they're vegetables. This is, oh goodness. I totally spaced out. I might have to come back to it. These are banana. Yeah, I'm gonna have to come back to that. I cannot believe it, but I totally draw a blank. So these are banana. I have two different kinds, a dwarf variety and a normal variety. I think this is the normal one. I can't remember the variety. I apologize. I'm very bad with variety. I just know the plants that I have. I just don't keep the tag for the variety. Over here, this is phlox. It was doing amazing. I mean, it was beautiful, show-stopping beautiful. And then all of a sudden, it's dying back, and I'm not sure why. I put some blueberries in here on the back side. I've got coneflower, calla lilies. It's past its prime now. But look at the beautiful burgundy color on this one. Can you see that? I got angel trumpet over here. This is my really most favorite, the pink one. I do have a yellow variety. I'll show you that in a moment. In my garden, I did a lot of things that I repeated because those are the things that grew well as a cutting. So I had quite a bit of plants that I can put in the ground. Sedum. You'll see lots of sedum in my garden. Bee balms, of course. Japanese maple, coneflower. Look at all those tomatoes. I haven't even had a chance to come out and pick. Actually, I've picked some that we use. I don't can and I don't pickle, which I think is the two main staple if you homestead. I just love fresh fruits and vegetables, so that's why part of the reason we're going to get a greenhouse, so I can grow fruits and vegetables year-round as opposed to only getting them through the summer. Then I have to can them and or pickle them, which I've had fresh green pickle tomatoes. Those are really good. Just had them here a couple of times. A friend purchased them in Alabama, and they're actually really good. I like them. Sorry, back to my garden. So I've got some hydrangeas over here, more angel trumpets. Same thing, repeat, angel trumpet, hydrangea, a really pretty rose that is very fragrant and red, very beautiful. Don't remember the variety, but this one is actually doing a lot better. It seems to be more disease resistant than the ones that I have, which I'll show you in a little bit. This is a yellow butterfly bush. I'm not sure if I really like it because it seems so sprawly. Like it's the older variety that gets to be like 15 feet and it sprouts everywhere. This one you can see is fresh new growth from just this year. Last year's growth is the woody stem you can see here. So literally they have grown almost 2 feet. So with this variety, you have to make sure you cut them back. Otherwise, they are going to get to be like 2-story, 3-story. And if you let it grow, it'll just take over. But it only flowers at the tip where the new growth are. So if you don't, you're going to end up with a lot of stems at the bottom and only flower at the tip that you might not be able to see unless you really look up. So my garden over here isn't big enough for that. I'm going to keep it low and trim. Hydrangea standard. One of many that I was able to propagate and grow into a standard. You can see those ones are super expensive at the store, but that's because they have to take extra time and extra care with them rather than letting them grow into a bushy form. So standard, I can understand they're a little bit more expensive, but I don't think they're worth, $100, $200 at the store for sure. You guys can grow your own. I know you can because I've done it, so you should be able to do it too. It's really simple and easy. Got angel trumpet, and then on the outside line, those are sedum. They are starting to flower for me. Sedum's really pretty, and they attract all kinds of pollinator. Over here, I have more calla lilies. I planted some strawberries in here, but the ground, even though it's rich, it's too hard for the strawberries to grow. So these ones have not produced at all yet. This is a fig tree. So you can see here, it has fruits for me. I'll be excited to try them out if none of the insects and pests gets to them before I can. So we'll have to wait and see. I have a Japanese maple over here that's growing. Another one of those yellow butterfly bush. You can see it's just really sprawly. But butterflies and bumblebees love them. Speaking of that, here's a bumblebee. Oop, what are you doing on the floor? There's another one over there. So those are bumblebees. They're loving it. So that was the first garden bed. This is the second one. I have amaranth over here. You can see they get really large. And then underlining it. So I had seeds. That's why they're kind of everywhere, the amaranth is. But over here I have a blue salvia. This might be the rockin' blue. One of the very few I actually know the variety. I have a Japanese maple. So pardon the grass. I'm going to have to literally kill the grass in the flower bed. We chose to plant grass, of course, in this center garden. And in the process of doing it, the seeds, when it rained, got washed into the flower bed. And now you can see my flower bed is completely overtaken by the grass. So while we wait for the grass to completely take over into the area that we want it to be and get luscious and beautiful, then I think next year what we'll do is I'll come in, cardboard the bottom of the flower bed, then mulch on top of it to kill off the actual grass that is in the flower bed, because it is very hard to go through and weed eat the entire garden bed. This here is Cleome. Beautiful flower. You know, I honestly didn't think I would like it very much, but I purchased one thinking I'll try it, and it was beautiful, and it gave me so much enjoyment. All the flowers, every single stem gave me a flower, and now you can see the seed pods are coming out. And apparently, oh, here's one that's opening. The seed pods, they actually seed very readily from their seed pods, so you can collect them and save them or just let them drop, and they will die back. I believe next year the seeds then will regrow back, so I might have to come by and collect some seed just to put them somewhere else that I want it to be. This here is a Rose of Sharon. It is giving me a couple of new buds, but these ones are old buds, and usually what I come by is just deadheaded, so it doesn't go to seed. I don't know if this variety will grow to seed or not, but I want to do that so that it continuously keep flushing out and hopefully give me some more buds. Here's another. So the bugs have been going crazy in my garden this year. I have, of course, another hydrangea, elephant ear. Over here I have 3 varieties of Japanese magnolia. So I've got one here, one back there, and one right there. I'm sorry, but they're too young this year, but next year I cannot wait, because next spring I think I'm going to get an amazing flower show off of them. They only flower in the springtime. Basically, they come out of dormant, flower, and then from those flowers they drop off, and then I can't even think of the words. The leaves will start to emerge. So they're one of the few plants that goes backward in its flowering habits. So it flowers first, and then it goes to these green leaves. I underplant with some vegetables since I have so much space right now while everything else is getting large. Over here, these are zinnias. I just had seeds, so I spread them, and they're doing pretty good. I'm happy with where they are at. I was able to keep one, oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of it now. The really pretty pink flower. Why can I not remember? I'm sorry. I am having a brain fart today, you guys. Sorry for my brain fart. I will have to come back to it. Gosh. Oh, Confederate Rose. That's what it is. That's my Confederate Rose. I had a whole bunch of them, and through that frost that we all had this year, only one managed to survive. That was a Confederate Rose. Over here are my roses. You can see they were beautiful in the springtime when they flushed out before the Japanese beetle took over. These are my Rio Samba. So I have 3 or 4 plants over here that are Rio Samba. Love Rio Samba. It just doesn't survive the Japanese beetle. Look at what they do. I mean, there's like a bazillion Japanese beetle over here. They're mating while they're eating. Very destructive plants, you can see. The only bad thing is I've realized the hybrid tea roses don't do very well in the south. I mean, you got to get the ones that are disease resistant. But I also love these ones so much that I forgo the way it looks in the leaves just to get the flower. Look at the beautiful flower. Aren't they gorgeous? And then they will turn color. So these ones just opened today. You can see I had a whole bunch more that I tip prune just to get new growth. But the Japanese beetle, of course, on their own does quite a bit of damage already. So this is the second garden bed. Swinging you around to the third garden bed. Over here I just have more roses. I do have the trees, fruit trees lining in the backside. So I have a grapefruit, nectarine, pomegranate. Remember that one in the front in the green little pot that I said I could not remember? It's a pomegranate. There we go. I knew it would come back to me. So these are roses over here. I love roses. One of my all-time favorite, other than the Rio Samba, would be the Miranda Lambert rose. She is a showstopper when she's not being eaten alive by Japanese beetle. Look at her. Isn't she beautiful? She's very fragrant too. But I mean, her petals, this one isn't as prolific as other ones that I've had. But one of her, one of her rosebuds could have like so many. Like this one over here has quite a bit, but even that is not like the most amazing ones that I've seen. I've been so happy with the Miranda Lambert. She's just beautiful in the garden. And backing out a little bit, I do have other things planted in the ground. They're just young cuttings. So this is a vermilionaire grown from cutting. Love them because they attract hummingbirds. And I have some Thai basil that I put in here. I've got cuttings of salvia. This is a red one. And another cutting of the vermilionaire. Of course, hydrangea. And then this is another Japanese magnolia. Over here, look at how beautiful this is. This is the Midnight Marvel. I've never had it get this big before, you guys. This is the first time. It's like, wow. I didn't think it would get this big. I've seen other people have it where they get really monstrous. But in my garden for the past couple of years, even at the old house, it never got this big. So that's why I planted it in the front of the garden flower bed as opposed to the back side. But you can see, I mean, at its height, this one is almost 5 foot. And I just basically planted this into the ground this year. So imagine once it matures how big it may get. But look at these. These are like dinner side plates. Isn't that beautiful? The color is just so vibrant and red. Definitely one of my all-time favorite hardy hibiscus. So this, of course, will die all the way back, but it comes back every year. And look at how strong the stem is, considering that it literally just came back this year. I mean, these stems are no joke. They are big and beautiful. So here is a flower pod that fell. And you can see the petals drop off, and that's the little seed it contains inside. If it keeps staying on the plant, it'll keep getting bigger and bigger, and then it'll develop the seed. But I usually come over and deadhead it just because I don't want to have it spent its energy on making seeds. So what I do is if it comes off like this, see how there's this little seed? I'll come over and I just snip it right off. That way it could spend more time in developing other branches to have more flowers. So over here, this one, of course, like right here, this one already flowered, and you can see the flower is falling off. And then the seed pods is in here, so I usually come and I deadhead. This one is the same. This one was yesterday's flower. They do only last one day, but you know, it's well worth it. If you ask me, it's well worth it to have a plant that only flowers one day, because look at all the other flowers you get. So those are from yesterday that I just basically snip off, but these are all the new ones for today. And then they will they'll close at nighttime, and then they'll drop off in the next day or two, or I come and I snip it off. And then this one will be for tomorrow. So after this one for tomorrow, then this one. So see how they play themselves out? They don't all bloom at the same time. So you'll get a constant show. Maybe not all at once, but it's like fireworks. You know how you get a little at a time until the very end. Very beautiful. This here is the milkweed for butterflies. It's actually very beautiful if you grow quite a bit of them. I have this pink one, but there are other colors, and they're such a showstopper. They just grow, and it's still flowering. The bees, of course, pollinators, love them. And now that I say that, there's really not that much on here. But, oh, except for a Japanese beetle, of course. But the flowers are so dainty. So beautiful and dainty. You can see I have more buds coming out. And then these ones are just about ready to open. And then these ones have already opened. And then once they drop off, they will look like this. So, beautiful, beautiful milkweed. And over here, I have just underlining of other things. I've got angel trumpets in here. The angel trumpet looks like right there. It hasn't actually flowered, and I've got multiple other ones that have already flowered. So I don't know why these ones have not. Butterfly bush. So this is one that was in the standard that died completely back. It never grew from the tree form, so I had to cut that back, and now it's in a bush form. Usually, most of the newer varieties, you don't have to come and deadhead, but this one is an older variety, so I usually like to come and deadhead it because it'll turn to seed on me, and I don't want it to spend its time developing seed, rather pushing out more flowers for me. I did do a standard butterfly bush in the yellow. You can see it's doing really good. I just don't really like it. I think it's too lanky, so it just doesn't look as uniform as how I would like it. So the yellow butterfly bush, I think I'm going to scratch on doing a tree form. I'm going to go back to using this one, which is more compact. You can see in the ground it's way more compact than the yellow. Like this is the compact one as opposed to this yellow one. Look at this yellow one. It's like all over the place. It just takes up too much space, and it's not very uniform. So I think I'm going to scratch that out and then just use that one. This one is, of course, Vermillionaire. So this one is doing really good. This one I got into the ground early and then took cuttings from this one to root all the other ones. The other single ones are usually the ones that are still slow to take. But our growing season is so long that I know it'll still have a time to grow. We don't get first frost until like mid-November, seems like. I mean, we'll get some cold days, but the frost itself doesn't really come until like almost end of October, November-ish. My hydrangea over there, it's leaning a little bit. I actually planted it, which I thought in the ground very sturdy, but it's been leaning with the heavy wind. It's really pretty from afar, but when you get close, it's starting to brown. And that's, you know, I really, really would love it if it had gone to that pink color, like all you northerners that get the cold nights. It would be so very pretty to enjoy that second stage. But I go from yellow to brown literally in the growing season. So I think once it goes brown, I'm going to just trim it and then see if a new flush will come out. And then by that time we should reach fall, and maybe the weather will cool off enough that it will go pink on me. Another Miranda Lambert over here. So pretty. Stunning color. This is hibiscus. I don't really know if it will actually flower. It's more for the leaf structure than the flower itself. So you can see here, it just keeps on growing, but the color is really pretty in its leaf structure. And let me see, what else do I have? I do have little plantings. This is a camellia. It hasn't flowered, but it's kind of new. I grew that from cutting. Another camellia from cutting. A lot of my cuttings died back. I did do quite a bit of cuttings of the camellia, but they didn't survive through that frost. So I did had a couple, and I put them into the ground. Let's see. These are pennies over here. And you can see the grass is overtaking them. I've been over here trying to weed eat the grass because it's growing into my garden. But you know, it's like one or the other. I wanted grass, and now I have grass, and now I don't want grass. So the grass is always greener on the other side. I just want grass. I just didn't want them in my flower bed. But here they are in my flower bed. So on to the next stage. So when we had this company come and install our porch roof, we told them to go wide on the circle driveway. And of course, what does he do? He cut right into my flower bed, and he sunk like the Titanic. So he created this crater over here in my garden, and it is pretty deep. So he got stuck, and we had to use our Kubota tractor to help pull him out. They had to offload all of the metal, roofing and supplies, just so the trailer was light enough that we can help him pull it out with the tractor. But that's why all these bricks are over here, and I haven't really moved it. My husband has to come in and regrade that area, and then I'll move these bricks off out of the way. I have a peach tree in here, another peach tree. Apple trees are over here. Butterfly bush. I've got some yarrow. You guys, yarrow is really amazing. I mean, it's beautiful, and it flowered from spring all the way till now, and you could see I have new growth, and new flowers are coming out everywhere. So I've been really happy with yarrow. I am definitely going to have to make more yarrow, grow more yarrow, and then probably, I kind of like how it flanks, so I might do that along with the coneflower. Coneflowers are doing really well too, as long as they don't get eaten by everything else. This one never got flowered because the flower stalk got eaten. I don't know if it's by deers or bunnies, but apparently these two survive. Another bee balm over there, a red bee balm. That one's really pretty, but it gets really tall. Salvia, blue salvia. This one is really pretty. And then I've got pineapple sage. Can't say enough about the pineapple sage, you guys. This one is a little one, but they root very easily, and I have them planted everywhere. They're really, really pretty. That's all I've got to say about them when they're actually in full bloom. Another hardy hibiscus, Midnight Marvel. As you can see, it's got flowers. Look at those one. Double powered, double flowered. Isn't that beautiful? And look at all those new buds. Those are all new buds coming in, and over here even. So here is one that's flowering for me now. And then I've got this one for tomorrow. Just gonna come in and take this off. So just snap it off. And if you don't, worst thing, they just grow into seed forms. I've never had any success growing them from seed. I've only done them from cuttings. Cutting seems to work a lot better for me. Seeds, I feel like I have to take extra care with the seeds, so I struggle with it a little bit more. I forget to water them. You have to keep it moist, but not too much. You got to give it a little bit of sun, but not too much sun. So I rather just do them from cutting. More yarrow. This one is, of course, a calla lily. Calla lilies are just stunning when they bloom. They're so formal. I love the way they look. This here is another butterfly bush. This one is very beautiful, very compact, and the color on it is just amazing. So I want to say I have 1, 2, 4 different kinds of butterfly bush color wise. Variation, yes, I just don't remember the variety. So, but isn't she beautiful, the color? Let me see. And then this here will be the 4th flower garden. Just more of the same things. I've got phlox. This is a Granny Smith apple right here. I have 2 apples left that haven't fallen off the tree or has not been eaten by bugs and everything else. Oh no. Somebody came over and knocked over my sedum. So I've got sedum in here. I've got a lantana. She's beautiful. This lantana is just a beautiful, very calming color. It's like a lavender, white, pinkish. Sorry for all the grass cutting in here. Grass cutting because I weed-eated yesterday. Trying to get around it. And I've got watermelon over here. Vermilion there. This is my 4-in-1 Bing cherry, not Bing cherry, cherry trees. I do believe it's not a Bing cherry. I call everything a Bing cherry, but they're black Tartarian cherry. It's Stella cherry. This one is a Van cherry. Oh, I do have the Bing cherry and the Bing cherry. Japanese beetle, of course, overtaking the leaves. And lots of little cuttings from the coneflower. See these small ones? So 1, 2, 3, 4. And actually I weed-eated this one. You can see here. So these are the little ones that you can propagate by divisions. Division is, of course, the best way. I do have some from seedling. But they're struggling. The ones from the seedlings struggled. This is the Julia Child rose. You guys, it's so beautiful. It gave me so much flower. And it smells like licorice. Oh, there goes all the Japanese beetle on them. See the Japanese beetle? I gotta come and take care of those guys. Just little things here and there. You can see all the spacing that I have because everything is kind of grown from little flowers. Like I don't get the huge big ones in the pots at the store and just plant them like that. Otherwise this whole flower bed would be overtaken already. But these guys are just little cuttings that are trying to get situated. I've got calla lilies over here flanking this front part. Got my abutilon over here. There's 1, 2, and 3. Oh, seedling. This one over here struggles really badly. The seedling for the coneflower. I mean, it's still there. It still has leaves. But it hasn't really grown very much. Whereas these ones are by divisions. They, of course, have stronger root system. So I expect to get flowers from these guys probably in another month or so. So I'll try to do an update on a month to month Weekly, I just don't have the time because I want everything to look nice when I do a full-length video for you, and having to weed eat and cut the grass, it's kind of crazy. Now this here is the center garden flower bed. This is where the multi-trunk standard hydrangea went, and I had to cut it back just a couple weeks ago because it was really bad looking. And you can see it's still stressing. Nothing has actually produced, but there's still some greens in the cane, so I'm just gonna leave it be and see how it does next year. I'm really hoping that the shock didn't kill it. It just shocked it back. So I'm gonna leave it in there for another year and see how it does. But I'm really praying that it'll be fine and it will take. I underplanted with coleus over here. These coleus are sun-loving coleus. They're gonna get big and luscious and kind of overfill this front area. In the back is the pineapple sage. Sorry, not salvia. The pineapple sage. So they will get really big and luscious once they mature up a little bit. Those came from cuttings. I had a friend that had some, and I was able to take some from hers. So all those came from cuttings, and they're doing really well. So these are about as red hot pink as you are gonna get in the garden, and pollinators love them. So beautiful. I can't wait. So I'm really excited with how my garden has progressed within just this year. I mean, everything went in early spring. Now they are actually growing, and we actually have grass. They're actually giving me flowers to enjoy. And eventually we'll expand more. But for now, I'm just enjoying what I have. I'm grateful for what I have. And it is hot. Look at this beautiful bumblebee. I mean, he's monstrous. You guys see him? Oh. So, there he goes. Came over to visit. So, yeah. This is it for my flower bed, you guys. All the flower beds in this garden that I put in. My husband has done a great job in prepping the ground for me, helping me plant where I need to plant, transplanting, moving the plants. So I give him lots of kudos in helping me get this ready. Now this is the main flower garden bed for now. I do have another area over here where all the hydrangeas are, the standard hydrangea. I still have yet to find a home, permanent home for them all, but we will see how they go. Now here's another area. If you guys remember, going back to my older video, this is how the Zen garden looks like. Just dirt, soil, red dirt everywhere. I planted some hydrangeas just to flank the driveway. I've got some lined up all the way over there, but you can see they're not full and luscious and big yet, so I don't know if I want to show you those. But I do want to show you my angel trumpet. Sorry, this is our house. Still a work in progress. It's going to be a barnuminium, but we're doing it ourselves as opposed to getting a company come in and doing it. It's been a lot of hard work. Here is coleus, all different kinds of color. Aren't they beautiful? These are sun-loving, so they actually can withstand the sun here in the south. I don't know what's wrong with this angel trumpet, but it is suffering something fierce, and I don't know what's going on with it. But I'm getting a flower. Look at this one. This one almost looks yellowish pink. So this is the one that's like white, and then it goes to yellow, and then it goes to pink when it actually comes out. Here is a yellow one. This one is doing really good. Look at this one. This one has actually given me a whole bunch of flowers to enjoy, and they smell really good. So this is another angel trumpet. This is one that's just barely coming out. And then this one is still trying to come out. until it gets to be like this. Isn't that beautiful? So I've been really happy with the angel trumpet. They are doing fabulously well. And that is about it. This will conclude my video of my garden tour. I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you so much for watching, for following me, for watching the progression of my garden. We're gonna have many more to come. Eventually what we like to do is take out some more trees. You can see I have trees as far as the eye can see. We would like to take out more trees over here. These trees actually need to come out because this used to be a timberland farm. They grow the pine trees to timber it, and they have to come in and timber it every 25 years. The lifespan of them are about 25 years. So we are approaching like the 20th plus minus years. And if they don't come down, like if you don't get somebody to come in and timber it, they're going to eventually slowly die off and then fall. So we don't want that to happen. So we are either going to take them down ourselves, rent an excavator and take them down so we can use the lumber ourselves, or have a company come in and mill everything and then take it. And then we would still need to rent an excavator to pop out all the root balls and then grade the land. So I like to actually have an orchard, grow my own fruits. So lots to do still, but I'm happy with where we are right now. 1 year into this property, well, a year and a half actually into the property, and I'm actually enjoying, finally getting to really enjoy my garden view. So this is it. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I will keep updating you guys if you want to continue watching it. I would like to get some more things into the ground. Now I put things into the ground, and I don't know, some things take really well and some things don't, and I don't know why, because the soil mixture is all the same. But you can see this hydrangea over here. It like really is suffering, just like the one in the middle of the garden. They just like, I don't know if it's transplant shock. This one is doing fine, the two stem over here, but these guys are like dying back completely, I think, because you can see there's like no green to it. There's still a little green, I guess, but you can see I'm gonna just have to see why it's stressing so bad. I did lose quite a few plants in the transplanting process, and I don't know if it's just the soil. Like over here I lost an Invincible mauve hydrangea, and this is the only one I have of it. And I was trying to see if there was any green life to it, and I kept going back and back, and there's nothing to it, and I don't know why it died back. Like sometimes I'm just like curious to why it dies back when other things are growing and thriving and surviving. So some plants just, I don't know, some plants just want to give up, and some keep on going. So just know when you garden that you'll have successes and failure, just like life. You got to keep on doing it, and the one that takes, you just keep on going with that. So thank you so much for watching, everybody. Thank you so much, and I will see you in the next video. I hope you guys all have a great week. Take care. Goodbye, everybody.